Today's tech term is plugin, also known as an extension or add-on. A plugin is a small computer application that works in cooperation with a larger application. While the term plugin may be used with almost any software, it's most commonly seen by consumers when using a web browser. A plugin's job is to add a function and additional capabilities to extend the usefulness of the larger application. An example is the Adobe Reader plugin that is used by web browsers to read and display a document using the Adobe document format, commonly called a PDF. Why plugins are needed? Any website can have different kinds of data. There are web pages, which consist primarily of text and images. There are audio and video files, and there are files used by a specific application, such as Microsoft Word. Web browsers are very capable applications in themselves, but sometimes an additional application is needed to display or use a file on a website. Early in the development of web browsers, they were only able to read a web page and present it as text and images. If a web browser came across another kind of data, it would check to see if there were any way to present it as a text or an image. If it couldn't, then it would create a message that would appear on the web page for the reader, letting the reader know additional software was needed to open the file, and that additional software was usually a plugin. Why plugins are useful? When audio and video became more popular on the internet, it became necessary for web browsers to display these kinds of data in a more useful manner. Although users could always download an audio or video file and play it on their computer using a local application, being able to play the sound or video in the web browser was much more convenient. Web browser developers created a way for other software developers to build add-ons or plugins for the web browser. Think of a plugin as an accessory for your car, like a child's car seat. While it's possible for a child to sit as a passenger in an automobile, a smaller child is more secure and safer in a car seat. The car seat isn't included with the car, but the seat belts in the car allow an owner to purchase a car seat and use it when needed and plug it into the car. The car seat becomes a plug-in for the car, available for anyone who needs one to use it, but not necessary for everyone to have it built into the car. As an example, if you wanted to display a type of video file on a web page that used the Flash video type, which is common on the internet, you would have to install the Flash plugin for your browser. Most web browsers don't include the capability as standard to play Flash, so a plugin is needed. Once the Flash Player plugin is installed, whenever the web browser finds a web page with a Flash movie on it, the plugin would be automatically activated and the Flash movie would play in the web browser. By the way, Apple's iPhone and iPad don't support the Flash Player, and it's not available as a plugin for Apple's mobile devices. Apple did this because they saw new web standards for video that were developing and wanted to encourage website developers to use those standards, which allowed video to download and play faster. As a result, Flash is falling out of favor as a way to display video. Plugins allow faster web browsing and customization. Since most web browsers allow the use of plugins, it makes it possible for you to use only the capabilities necessary for the websites you visit. You don't have to use a web browser that comes loaded with extra options, and as a result, your web browser can operate faster. By only including the most essential capabilities in a web browser and allowing users to install their own plugins when they need them for a web page, web browsers can display a web page faster for most users, since only those users who need a specific feature would install the plugin. Every additional software capability requires resources and can slow down your web browser. Sometimes, as a student mentioned in one of my classes, a message appears when you open a web browser asking you if you want to run the plugins you have installed. Since each plugin is a small piece of software, each plugin could slow down your web browsing experience, so some computers and web browsers give you the option to disable the plugins. Okay, so where can you find plugins? Most web browsers have a directory of plugins and extensions available on the internet. Here are websites for you to find plugins for Firefox, Microsoft Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, and Apple Safari. Web browsers are one of the most commonly used applications on any computer, smartphone, tablet, or device. Since all web browsers make it possible to get add-ons for the browser, with the exception of a few, every user can install additional capabilities in one of the most useful applications, making the web browser even more powerful. Thanks for tuning in to the Tech Term of the Day. I'm Bob Cohen. For more information, visit my website at bobology.com.